Howdy everyone, and I'm back. Yes, I have a new idea here that I found on Pinterest. This is a lantern. It is a Christmas lantern. I think I'll turn this around so you can see this a little bit better, so you can see the whole picture. Let's turn this. Let's see if I can be successful at doing so. There we go, and slide that picture down. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's a really pretty lantern. And well, I knew that it had some lanterns that I had purchased. Here we go, that's prettier. Okay, I knew I had some lanterns that I had purchased for my outdoor pergola. So excuse me while I remove this out of the way. Here we go. Let's slide this out of the way. And here we go. I've got these lanterns. Can you see them? Right there. And I had already used two of them. We had actually lit them up and we had hung them outside in our pergola. As you can see, the candle is all melted inside there. They're really pretty. Look at that. And they have a handle here at the top where I can hold them and we can hang them from there. And well, I thought I'm going to use this indoors, but I had them in the garage and we haven't actually used them for a couple of years. So I actually had to do a lot of dusting and cleaning. And two of them I had not used. Now these are, here we go, here's a label that was on them. Oops, let's see, you can't see it. Okay, here we go. Village Green Citronella Candle. This were from Big Lots, and they were $8. But I got these a couple of years ago, so I don't know if you'll find them, but I'm sure you can find something similar. Maybe you already have something, and you can recycle it using it indoors, whether you have to just clean it up or maybe spray paint the metal a little bit, red, black, silver, or gold or copper, or maybe just leave it kind of rusty looking, whatever it looks like. So anyway, I had two that I've used and two others that were brand new. You can see the candle is not burnt in this. This one's still in a little package in there. So I just took this one out of the packaging. I opened it up. It took me a little while to figure out where I'm supposed to remove that from because, like I said, this is like maybe 2 years ago that I bought them. And we haven't used them since. But I always think, oh, I have these, look, see, they come out from the bottom. You have to twist it. I always think, oh, I have these lanterns and I need to do something with them. And since I saw that Pinterest picture, I thought, wow, perfect. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off somehow. I don't remember how I did it earlier. I think I just ripped the plastic off. I'm going to remove all of this from that, and then I am going to put it back in here. And I've got some supplies here. I've got some green artificial garland, which looks pretty good. This is all recycled, by the way. I've had this for a long time. And then I have these little stems that were from some arrangement some time ago, and they have little berries on them. They have a little greenery on, and I happen to have 4 of them, which is perfect. I've got some Christmas ribbon here that I also have. This is actually a bow, but I'm going to undo it and make 4 smaller bows out of that. And the reason that I'm recycling this is because I had a lot of this ribbon, and it's mainly what I've been using all over my living room area. Although I don't have to make these exactly. I have a ton of ribbon, so I may go look for some other different ribbon. And since I have 4 of them, I may do 2 for my living room and maybe 2 for my kitchen. So if for some reason I decide that I find another ribbon that I decide that I want to use, maybe in my kitchen, then I'll use that instead of this. Okay, so here I've got some wire, and this is a 24 gauge green floral wire. You can find these at your Michael's craft store, maybe even at your Hobby Lobby. I haven't seen these at Hobby Lobby, to be honest with you, and I've gone to the floral department. They do have them in little spools and rounded, like spools like the kind that like the little spools that you find fishing wire on. If you know what I'm talking about, then perfect. Otherwise, just ask somebody there for floral wire, and you'll need some of that. And I had these little berries also as well, so I don't know if I'm going to use those for that particular. And I have this other little ribbon that I also pulled out. And I pulled out the smaller ribbon, and then I was looking at these berries because I also have these cute little Votive holders. Look at that. And guess where I got these from? I got these from the Dollar Tree. Yep, they were only $1. Exactly $1. And what's inside of them? I purchased these. These were in a pack of 2. And these were also $1. And as a matter of fact, they still, let me set my camera here so I won't have to keep moving it. Let me move this out of the way and do it over here. Okay, so all of these, I have 4 of them, by the way. I don't know why I was buying 4s. And then I end up using like odd numbers. Okay, so here we go. These have a little thing on the bottom that you pull out, and then you can turn it on. Come on. It's really hard to turn it on. It shouldn't be. Come on, baby. You can do it. You can. Oh, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so that's a little light that I will put in there. And it's just a little tiny little bit of a light, really. So I think I'm going to decorate this with some of that green garland as well, and some of these berries and the pretty little gingham red and white ribbon. And I'm going to put these somewhere. I don't know yet where, but I will figure it out. But these are the 2 crafts that I'm going to be doing so that you can watch me do that as we go along. All right, so like I said, I have my scissors. I have my, well, I didn't say. I have scissors. I have my wire cutters. I have my wire that I showed you. I have some ribbon. I have some greenery and even some little stems of little berries that I can use. So here we go. Let's get decorating one of them. And then, or maybe I'll do one and then I'll come back and show you what I did. And I'll be back. Okay, so here we go. I've got a lantern that's already done. As you can see, going downward. And what I did is I put a piece of garland all the way around, and I threaded it through here, and then I put in the little berries, and I made a little bow with ribbon, and I really only concentrated this in the front. I'm not going to worry about the back because I don't know where I'm going to put it, and this may end up getting pushed up against almost at a wall, so I'm not going to worry about that back part. Okay, so I've already got 2 other ones with the garland on them, as you can see, and I'm going to go ahead and build this for you, but I'm going to move these down so that they don't cause any confusion in the background. I'm going to move 2 of these down here, and then I'm going to move this one over, and then I'm going to show you how I did this. Okay, so you got to get your lantern right here, right there. Can you see that? Right there. Okay, so then I cut a piece of garland, and I cut the piece of garland which I felt would go all the way around this area here, this bottom base here, that it would go all the way around, but I underestimated it rather than overestimated it because I don't want to cut this and then find out it's too long and then end up having to cut a little piece and then that goes to waste. Although I can find a lot of things to do with that little tiny piece. But anyway, before I poof it up, I'm going to feed it through the lantern right here. Now, if your lantern doesn't have these in front of it, then you would just wrap it around the bottom easily. But because I have this here and I don't want to wrap in front of it, I want to wrap in this bottom area, I'm going to feed it through. So that's what you would do if you had the same or similar situation. I'm going to feed it through here. Be careful because you know, the ends of the wires are sharp where I cut it with my wire cutters. And now, as you can see, here it is. Now it doesn't look like it's going to close, but it will. See? So what I have to do is just make sure I've got it pulled in the position that I want it. Oops, get that in there again. It's really not that difficult. It seems difficult because I am quite a bit away from I usually have things a little bit closer to me, but for the camera purposes, I have it far away, and you can hear me right into the mic. Okay, so then just twist, a piece from each side. You're going to take them wherever, if they overlap a little bit, just grab whichever one is, closest, and then just twist. And I've already done that with these 2 here. I've twisted them together, and I don't want to twist them too much, just a little bit. Now I have my hot glue gun ready to go, but I don't want to glue any of this. I decided that I'm just going to wire things or just tuck them in, really, because I may want to undo this and then take them outside and use them outdoors after all. So now what I'm doing is I'm just basically poofing these little branches of the greenery here This is called poofing. Yes, it is a professional term. I used this when I was a floral designer. Worked at Michael's for quite a while doing that. I'm going to twist these here. No, I'm not. I thought I would, but I'm not. Anyway, yeah, it's okay to change your mind, really. Okay, so anyway, I did floral design, and we always called it poofing. Whenever we had wreaths, and you know how when you buy an artificial wreath, they're all kind of, the leaves are all, you know, flattened down, kind of almost basically all going the same way. And I used to fluff them by pulling up the leaves towards me and work my way around and twisting it and so forth. So that was called poofing. Maybe that's something that I can show you at some other point. Okay, so I don't want all these little greenery bits, you know, shooting straight up. I want them shooting in different directions. So now I'm just going to look for what I feel is probably the prettiest side to kind of go forward. They all look the same to me, really. But this seems to be like the barest part. I don't know why it seems barest to me. But this is where I'm going to go ahead and put my bow and my little stem of berries. And this is just my little stem of berries, really, right here. So what I'm going to do to the little stem, I'm not going to even cut it because I may want to use it into an arrangement. And I need that length of... because I recycle everything. Until these become like really nasty looking and I can't use them, then I'll toss them away. Otherwise, I recycle. Or rather, not reuse. I'm going to use the word reuse because I didn't melt it down or cut it up into little pieces and create something else. I'm reusing and repurposing. Okay, so here I'm going to bend this a little bit. I'm going to curve it a little bit because I want it to fit into the shape of my greenery here. So I'm going to just tuck it in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to find two of these and just twist it over it, and then another one, twist it over the little end there to hide that little stick. Did you see what I did? Yeah, did you see? See, here was a little stick that was showing here. And I twisted these two to grab onto it over here, but then I stuck out this little stick here showing. So I just took one of these little bits and just wrapped it around it and just pull another one in front of it, whatever. And just kind of camouflage that. And here, look, see? Now this will be the front. Twist these. I don't want to do too much. Oops. A little berry came off. Well, maybe that's what I needed my glue gun for. Okay, so that's that. Now I want to put a bow on it. And the other one, the way I started it is I took... Whoa, sorry. Oops. Didn't think that would happen. Well, I feared it would, but I just didn't think it would. Okay. Here's the ribbon that I had, and what I did is you just fold it in half and cut to create this little tail, or you could just... This is what I call a reverse, like a reverse snake tongue. There's probably like a really professional word for it, but that's what I call it. Just little ears, I guess, little kitten ears or little cat ears. So you just fold it in half and cut from the outside edge down into the fold and create that. You could do it the other way around and then have like this shape instead, or you could cut it at a diagonal and have that shape instead. Okay, or you could just cut it straight flat, but it looks really pretty when it's like that. So what I did is I decided that I wanted a little tail about that long, which is this tail here on this other one, and I kind of crinkled it a little bit there. Okay, so I wanted a tail that long, so I'm going to twist it, and then I'm going to make a loop as I go along. For this, sorry, excuse me. Here we go. This is so you can see. I'm doing this kind of in a backward way, okay? So anyway, so you're going to loop this, and just decide what size your loop is going to be. And I decided, well, that's about what I want. I don't want it too big because I don't want it sticking out of my lantern too far out. So here we go. So then I twist it so that I have this pretty side always facing upward. And then I make another loop and crinkle it right where I feel like it. Now, if you're not sure if it's the same size, bring them up together and do this little bit. See? They're kind of the same size. So if you want them to be exact, fold them, and look, they're almost exact. And that's just from eyeballing it from years of practice. Okay, and I decided that my bow was going to have 3 loops, and I feel like I'm doing this smaller than my other one, the first one that I did, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. They're not going to be side by side. Okay, so now I'm going to do a 3rd loop right here, and that's all I'm going to do. Now normally a bow like this, you want to do 5 or 6 loops, maybe even 7. Always take your wire and cut off a piece first before you start doing it. Okay, I cut off a piece of wire. Here we go. And I want this wire to be long enough so that it goes around my bow. And also so there's enough of a tail of wire here. You can't really see it. A tail of wire here so that I can tie that on there. Now rather than twisting my wire here, which is only going to cause it to twist upward, I don't want that. So I'm going to put my finger right there and hold it open. See, I'm holding it open like that. And then I'm twisting the bow because now it's twisting downwards and it's actually twisting, making this nice and tight. So then I still have these 2 little bits here, and I want that so that I can wire around that. And here's my ugly bow right now. And I'm not going to worry about the ugliness because I am going to poof it. And that is basically what I did over here, poofing. Okay, so now I'm going to decide that I want my bow tucked in like right in here. So I'm going to take these 2 bits and wire around one of the little green stems. Just twist it in there. You can even twist this around it also, you know. Get them little wire ends twisted around that so they're not poking out. And then just arrange your bow so that your little tail... Oh my goodness! I'm going to have to figure out a better way to do this so I don't knock this over. I'm getting too close to the cam is what it is. Okay, just crinkle it up, and there it is. Poof up your ribbon. Poof it up from the bottom parts. And then I do a little pinch on each, or like that. You don't have to do that. That's something I do. You don't have to. That's only when I find that I've made a bow and it's too big, and I decide to make it smaller. You know, crinkle it up a little bit. Now I'm going to bring it under here, and now I'm going to bring the ribbon over to the side. Now I'm going to pinch a little bit here and tuck it in, and just twist 2 of these on it like so. Poof that up. It doesn't have to be like perfectly poofed because you want it to look like, you know, you just kind of just brought it across and it naturally just did that. And, you know, well, this is all artificial stuff, so we're not going to worry too much about the natural. Now, the next one, it doesn't have to be the same size as that. It could be a little bit longer, a little bit short. Well, not shorter because that's already kind of short, but that's up to you. So I'm going to pinch this again, and I'm going to tuck it in, and then take 2 of these and just twist in front of it, just to hold it in place. And I'm not using any wires, so I don't have to, because this has wire in it, so that's perfect. And now this is where I'm going to end it, because as you can see over here, I did the bow, I brought it underneath, did a loop, and then I did a second loop, and then it's my tail right there. So that's what I'm doing with this one as well. So this is where I'm going to cut the ribbon, about so much. I am going to fold it in half here, this time from the folded part up towards the tippy ends. Get my little piece over here. This ribbon out of the way, and there we go. There's another one done. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more, and then I will show you the finished product. And then I need to show you the small votive holders and what I do with those. All right, I'm back, and I finished all 4 of the lanterns. And as you can see, 2 of them I decided to use this different ribbon. It has like a little greenery garland in there, and it's got little red berries, sort of mimicking what I've got going here with the garland and the berries. A little bit of gold on there, and it's more of a woodsy tone to it. So I thought I'd do 2 of them with that ribbon. There you go, pretty. And then I do the other 2 with that other ribbon. And as you can see, it's really, really pretty. Okay, so the next project I have is to create these. And this is with this small votive holder that I showed you at the beginning, and the little little battery operated light candle that's inside. And there's just a little bit of garland around the top edge with some berries and a little bow. So I'm going to show you how I did that. Okay, you just take one of these, and I put the little handles upward. The little handles will be falling on you if you do happen to purchase the same thing I did, but that's okay. It won't fall off too much. So I took a piece of garland like this. Look at this. I've cut off these little branches. So I just took my wire cutters, and at the very, very edge there, I cut, oops, I think my wire cutters need to be sharpened. So then I cut a bunch of these little pieces. And I've got a bunch of them already cut up right here. And to start off on this one that I already have done, I used about 6 of those little pieces, seven or 8 maybe at the most, to create a garland that's going to go around the edge there of the votive. So, okay, so the first thing I have to do is I have to take, well, not the first thing, but maybe the second thing I have to do is take some of this wire and unspool some of that. Pull it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this and measure around my lip here and right there, and then I'm going to cut it at about so much, because now I know it's long enough to twist this when I bring it around. And I always have to make sure that I have a little bit of excess there, not too much, because I don't want to waste a lot of wire. Okay, so now that I bent it here where I've measured it, and then I'm going to just straighten it up. The next thing to do is to just take your little bits of garland like this that you've cut off. Maybe, I don't know, you can't really see it any better this way. And then just fold them and twist, you know, kind of like that, like a little crisscross. And just keep doing that. And they're not going to be tight. They're going to be able to slip around, which is fine. Bring them and twist them over like that. Here's my little mark where it ends. And I'm going to put about 7 of these. I don't remember how many I used of it. I think I did 7. So you could do 6 or 7. Okay, so it just depends. And here's where it bends again, way over here. So I still have all this space. And they don't have to be tied up against each other. They can, if that's what you want. I didn't do that. I'm going to keep building this. That's 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go ahead and go with 6. And that's okay. They're not... I gotta slide these back this way, because you know what? I'm going over. Okay. I'm going to spread them out a little bit anyway, so I'm going to bring this around. Oh, sorry. I want this to fit right in this little lip area. I'm going to pull them apart just a little bit, and I'm going to bring this around, all the way around, get the 2 ends of the wire. I don't want to lose it because, see, this slides off through here. Now, once I put these little green bits on my wire, it seems like, oh, well, geez, now my wire is shorter. Let me do something here because it's really bugging me. Okay, I'm going to remove that one because it's being nasty. I'm going to undo it, untwist it, throw it over to the side because it's not happening, and just do another one. It's being really nasty. Okay, let's put it back on there. And right here. Now you're saying, wait a minute, that green doesn't go all the way around. It will. I'm just going to twist that for now. Just hold it on there. And now I can go ahead and slide the greenery pot bits a little bit and separate them. Now they don't have to be completely separated because I'm going to put a bow in this area, and that'll cover up that little bald spot. Now I'm going to bring my little handle over because I don't want it to do what it just did right now. Okay. I learned that from the last time. This can be a little bit of a, I don't know what the word is, annoying. It doesn't have to be. if you just have a little bit of patience. Okay, so now we have a little open spot there, but then we have to twist this wire and make sure it's on there good. And then I'm going to trim some of it off, little bits here, and I'm going to make sure I put them in the trash properly because I don't want to step on them and get them stuck in my tootsies. And then I've got my little beading pliers here, and I'm going to get that little end and just kind of curl it in. And why do I do that? Because I don't want to poke my fingers. Okay, so now I've got this little garland, and you can kind of twist it on there so it's not necessarily, you know, all just sticking upward. And that kind of fills in the little gaps when you've spread them out to move them around. That's why I say you don't have to put that many on there, because you end up doing that. And look, see, now I've just got this one little gap here. Now I've gone ahead and I've made my bows ahead of time, but I'll show you what I did. This is just 2 loops, just like I did earlier when I did the other, but instead of making 3 loops, I made just 2 loops and 2 short tails, wired it down, tighten it. I'll do one right now for you so you can see. I think I have a piece of wire already cut out. Yes, I do. I've got my little piece of wire ready right there. I'm going to take my ribbon. This is how long I want my little tail. Make a loop, pinch, twist, make another loop, pinch, and twist. And then I am going to cut the length of this other tail. And then I'm going to take that wire, again, around it, and then twist the bow part so that this does not get twisted in this way, but rather that way. Okay, so then I'm just going to take the little ends here, fold them, and from the fold upward to the edges, the little edge, I'm going to trim that off so I get that little shape. The other end there. There we go. Little bits. And then I've got that. Now before I decide to poof up my bow and make it all pretty and all that, I'm going to bring the little tails downward, the little loops up, and then I'm going to take this and slide it underneath. As you can see, it's not so tight, so I can go ahead and slide this underneath, and now I can twist this wire so that that gets that bow on there. And it's going to be a little bit loosey-goosey, and that's okay. I'm going to do the same. After I've twisted it, I am going to trim my beading pliers. Oh boy. This is what happens when I put my face over my camera. Sorry about that. I'm not going to re-record to fix all that, so that's just an incident that's going to have to be in my video. Okay, so here we go. And then just poof it up. I do a little pinching, a little bit of that. You can crinkle up your ribbon just a little bit so it gives it a little bit of a vintage vibe. Now that you've got this and you see like, oh, well, I have a little gap there I don't like, you take another little piece like so and just bend it. And I'm just going to apply some glue here. So thankfully I had my glue gun. My nasty glue gun that you're seeing here, I use it so much, it gets so dirty. That's the one thing I'm not too OCD about. Okay, and then I'm just going to tuck it there, back there somewhere. And then just kind of fill that in. See how that it gets filled in? Now I've got some greenery there. Now for the little berries, I've got a little cluster on here, and then I've got a cluster of 3 and a cluster of 3. So what I did is I take these little stems. I'm going to move this out of the way so you can see what I do. Okay, so I got these little clusters. This was actually a long garland piece that I got. They're like little bits of garland. They were on a stem also that I could either put into an arrangement. They were like really big, so I made them. I actually ended up cutting them into smaller pieces, and then this was for a smaller arrangement. But like I said, I'm repurposing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to cut this tippy top one. And I'm going to use this little cluster. It's got 5 little berries on there. And I'm going to hot glue that behind my bow. And because I put that greenery there, which I should wait till it's completely dry, but for the purposes of the video, I'm going to go ahead and do it now. I'm just going to tuck it in behind there. Just tuck it in there and let it set there. Just like that. And don't move it around. So now then you're going to take another cluster like so. Pull it off the stem. See how they come apart? A little paper here, those wrapping it. See how they come apart? So I'm just going to take 3 of them and then take one of the little wires on one of them and twist so I make a little cluster. So now I've got these 2 little clusters, one which has a little curly on it, the other one doesn't. And then I'm going to continue that for the other 2 votive holders that I have. But in the meantime, I've got these. And then I can just, the same, I can just trim a little bit off of it. And then I'm going to find a spot. And I think, right here's a good one. So I'm going to put it in there, and then I'm just going to twist this over it like that. And because it's all wire, you can twist it all into itself, so that's awesome. Okay? And just move that over so that you don't have a little gap there. And make it look really pretty by moving that one over. Okay, so now I need one just back here. So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to trim a little bit off of it. You don't have to do that, but I'm doing it because you can curve it a little bit also so it kind of hides in there. Twist some of this greenery around it. There we go. Just like that. And there, that's the finished one. Now I'm going to finish the other 2 and come back and show you the finished product and where I decide to put them. Alright, here we go. They're all completed, all 4 of them. And I've got the little candle in there, little battery operated candle in there, all lit up. Aren't they pretty? I thought these were so cute. And I only got, they were only 99 cents, the votive holder, and then the 2 lights, a package of 2 lights. Well, not 99 cents, $1. Now I'm noticing this little berry right under here. That one doesn't look so good. I'm just going to pull that off and then hot glue a nicer one on there. So that'll be okay. But there you go. Those are the finished product. And now to show you where I have put them. Alright, so here we go. I've decided to put these lanterns on my rustic refurbished or reused and repurposed. These are from a fence that my dad's been removing old fence posts and replacing them with brand new ones, and he let me have these pieces, and my husband then bought these posts at a flea market, and they're all really rustic looking actually, and we've decided to create an entertainment center here for our television. So on each side here on the top, this is where I've decided to put these lanterns. Look at these are awesome. It's a little key ring, and it's got like a boot key, a star. I think this is a horseshoe, and then it's got like a little horse head on the one on the back. This I got at Hobby Lobby, by the way, in case you're interested. Little rustic piece of something, and I've got my little Christmas village down here, which I'm actually kind of working on, and put some little lights there. But this is where I've decided to put those lanterns, on each side of that. And then I've got stuff to put around on the walls and some garland to hang here and there. I'm not going to do too much. I just want to keep it a little simple and clean. Let me show you where I put the other little lanterns. Okay, so here I have this mirror in my entry, my hallway, foyer, whatever you want to call it. And I've decided to put 2 of those little lamp lights, or whatever you want to call these, votive lights here. And I don't want to show you the mirror because I'm in it right now. But there you go. That's a mirror that I made myself also. With some plywood, a small mirror, a little shelf, and I've hung some garland. Look on the side here, I've got these little things. And then I found these ornaments, little owls. I love owls. And these are silver, shiny, kind of glittery, sparkly. They look a little fancy. They're not really what I would normally like, even though this is kind of fancy. But I like things a little more rustic. That's going to get replaced. But I just thought they were so cute, and I love owls, so I had to get them. So I decided to hang them off the sides here, since this is sort of a white kind of theme going on here on this wall. But there we go, and the other 2, and my entry table here. I've got a wreath there so far. I had some family pictures there, and I took them down, and I'm going to put some other stuff there on that wall. But see, I've got this... this is the same ribbon that I put on those other 2 lanterns that I told you. I haven't decided where I'm going to put the other lanterns with that other goldish ribbon that has little berries on it yet. But this coordinates with the ribbon that's on something on my wall in my living room and also on those lanterns now. So as you walk in, that ribbon will be seen through the house, which I've yet to put some on that. Oops, there I am. Okay, so here I put them, right here. Picture of my grandma and my uncle. Let's go fishing, he'd always say. Okay, so there we go. Look, put them there. And put another one there. Next to my little birdhouse. My little birdhouse has little owls in there, and it's got some pine cones all over the bottom. I'll open this up so you can see better. A little twig. See that same little berry twig is the same one on that is on here. Look at that. It's a little dusty. I gotta clean that up. And then I've got two owls. One of them. Oops, sorry. One of them. The owls. I can't even open this anymore. Here we go. One of these little owls is hanging from the top here, so that when I put this down, he's hanging in there. But then the other one's sitting on the little branches that I put in there. That's another little project idea if you have with little cages so you don't know what to do with them. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope you can find a lantern or really anything similar to it. Maybe something like that. This little candle holder, I need to put a candle in there. I could do the same thing, put some garland around the bottom, just like I did with those other ones. Or like this, put a little ribbon, and actually make it more decorative for Christmas. Switch it around for spring, maybe even summer and fall. Switch it around to a different look. But there's another idea, something that you could use for the lantern idea. Little votive holders, I mean, you could use any little buckets, little tins that you might have that maybe don't have a little handle. They don't necessarily, you can necessarily see through them, but maybe just something that you want to decorate. Ooh, little bits of something there. Okay, or you could also use mason jars. They may not have the handle, but if you buy this thick black type of wire, you could actually create a hanger on a mason jar. And you could do the same thing and then put some either real candles in there or some little battery operated candles, which are nice and safe. And you could have them only lit up when you have maybe some company over, or when you just want to feel festive all by yourself. All right, I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas you'd like to share, maybe a link to show us a picture or a video of what you have done, or if you followed my ideas and found similar items to decorate, I'd like to see it. And let me know what else you would use if you wanted to change any of my ideas, and put them down in the comments. Please thumbs up on my video, and please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy.